Welcome in everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly with the head coach Matt Loddick. Brandon Vickery with you. It's sponsored by Tire Barn Warehouse. And Coach, we look back at a victory over Evansville on Sunday. Kind of a unique victory in terms of leading from wire to wire. Took a big lead early, held on for the win. What are some of the keys to playing with a lead? And you hadn't done that as much so far this season.
Yeah, no, it was it was a different spot for our guys, and not only playing with the lead, but playing with a big lead. And up 18 in the first half. I think they went 7 minutes without scoring. And our emphasis was really on the defensive end. As it'll continue to be. I think we've had good scoring outbursts. I know we had one little segment there at Missouri State where we didn't score very well in that first half, but put 44 on them in the second half. So we know to build leads, sustain leads, win games. It starts on the defensive end. And the challenging thing with Evansville, right, was they had a brand new coach. They had an extra day to prepare for us. We didn't really know what they were going to do. Were they going to zone us the entire game? Were they going to put in a brand new offense? And actually, a lot of what they did was different than what they had been doing. And so, kudos to our guys for adjusting, staying true to our principles, and able to execute.
One of the big plays everyone was talking about, 35 seconds left, KJ Riley goes up for a game-tying dunk, Malik McMillan the big block. What did you see on that play?
I mean, we saw a lot of toughness and a lot of attributes. Malik got there, was actually a little bit late behind, was able to jump a couple feet above the rim, challenge, and that's what it takes to win games in this league. And I know Evansville hasn't won a league game yet, but they will. They played much better against us than they had in previous games, so I expect them to continue to get better.
Malik hadn't led the team in scoring in his entire career and now has done it back-to-back games, 4 straight games in double figures. What's come around for him offensively here of late? Well,
obviously he's always been able to make shots, and I think he's taken the right shots. I think as teams prepare for us, they're trying to sit their fives like most teams do in the lane. Malik's been able to get out and he's shooting the ball at a good clip in conference. So it opens things up for all of us.
One thing that people were talking about this week obviously was the return of Ryan Fazekas. He missed 17 games. First 2 games back, how did you integrate him in, and how did you assess what you saw from him in those 2 games?
The first thing is we didn't want to overload Ryan, right? We didn't want to put him in situations where he's playing 30 minutes, because with his injury, that wrist, you think he could do a lot of cardio while he was resting it and while it was healing, but with that specific injury, he actually had to rest a lot and had to be really careful with it. So we wanted to, bring him back slowly. Obviously, he's another scoring punch, a senior, understands what we're doing on both ends. So getting him back into what we're doing isn't as difficult as it might be with a younger player. But he's a huge lift. We're getting healthy at the right time, and we just want to continue to get better every day.
Up next, you take on a Bradley team that won the conference tournament a year ago, and talking about getting healthy, they've been without some key players, starting to get healthier perhaps this week. What do you expect from Bradley on Wednesday night?
I mean, it's going to be a tough game. When I think of Bradley, they're tough, and they're going to guard you, they're going to rebound well, and they're really, really good on their home floor. And so, we've got to go in. We've had stretches where we've played okay on the road, but we've got to do a better job. And, sometimes with young teams, you just struggle a little bit on the road. Hopefully we're getting used to it. We've had a ton of road games. So we're going to go in there and compete, and, we know it's going to be a challenging game.
There is the head coach, Matt Loddick. Once again, it's Valpo Basketball Weekly, sponsored by Tire Barn Warehouse. Catch all the latest in Valpo Athletics on valpoathletics.com. Valpo Basketball Weekly is sponsored by Tire Barn Warehouse. For all major brand tires, wheel alignments, and more, visit Tire Barn at 451 West Northland Drive, Valparaiso. Tire Barn installs more than 3 million tires a year. How about your next set? Visit www.tirebarn.com.